is August 21st, 2020, 8/21/21. And it's yours truly's birthday today, 43 years old. A few more grays. But, got Slim coming over later, just visited with my mom. See my dad tomorrow, so, Eagles open practice too with Slim, so it should be a good weekend. Hat Club did this drop that I would have been interested in, but I know, it's like I said before, I hate to, have this pessimistic view of things, but I know with Hat Club, every drop they do is like a minute-long drop, and, miss out. So they're doing like a Space Jam themed MLB drop, and I like that. That Angels with the 40s side patch. I need that hat because I got that Mo Vaughn Angels jersey from the Disney era with that 40 patch on there. And I have a regular Angels, Cooperstown hat for it. But, again, as Manolo would say, matchy matchy. So I'd love to match up that jersey with the hat with the patch. And every time one of those hits, they're gone. And I just never have been able to get one. And I think the colorway would be pretty good for it too, but it's just, I know. It's like, do I really want to be disappointed on my birthday? Try to get a hat and it's gone and I get frustrated because I wasn't able to hit the buttons in time or whatever. Just, nah. So they had a couple from that pack. They had that. They had a Cubs. They had a Devil Rays that I would have loved to have gotten. And it sucks that you have, I don't totally blame them. But, they're one of the bigger hat companies, and I understand they only have so much room in the warehouse. I get all that. There's a lot that goes on, the inside that a lot of people just don't know about, right? We're not really privy to. So I know they have, only as much stock, but it sucks when you have a big company like that, and every drop, they can't, keep these damn bots out. They can't, do something to prevent, at least make it more difficult for them to just gobble up everything. And a lot of people like myself, people who really actually appreciate the hats, or collectors or fans, want to wear them, not buying them just for dollar signs, and, we just keep getting, for the most part, kept out of these drops. Now there's plenty of other sources, and I've said this many a time, there's plenty of other sources. I love what Lids is doing. Absolutely love it. I know Views from the Vault did an interview with Big Jack. I mean, just the passion he has for it, the collections there. I told you that the Cobra Kai 2.0, I am watching Lids like a hawk. I'm watching Instagram like a hawk. I need to know when these things, there is like 5 of these hats I have to have. 5. And I'm hoping to get them. But we'll see. With Lids, at least, I feel I have a better chance. But, the problem is in my area, we don't have any Hat Club stores. It's only Lids. So some of these drops that they do online that might be in store, I have no way of getting them either. I think the closest to me is New York. So for me, what am I going to do? Drive there every weekend? Go there, pay the tolls, pay the gas, get the hat. I mean, I would do all that. I would pay more to get the hat that way than to buy it from one of those flippers. So that, that kind of defeats the purpose, right? It's disappointing, but like I said, I've said it many a time, and I'll continue to say it. This is the, you see the wins when we get the pickups, and I'm showing you stuff, right? But these are the things you don't see, the things obviously we don't have in hand, and probably aren't going to get in hand, like that Space Jam drop today, but from Hat Club. But maybe someday. Hey, you know what? I keep my eyes peeled. Maybe someday. They'll. I'm sure that set's going to wind up on the secondary markets, and eventually, when all the craziness, they're going to go down in price, or maybe someone has it, just wants to move it because they're not exactly their size, they're just not happy with it. Because you get that sometimes. You get people who aren't flippers, just bought it, wasn't quite right, they end up moving it, and basically they just want a little over what they paid, and that's fine. I see a lot of people selling. It's not everybody. I see a lot of people selling who sell the hats for like, the hat retailed for like with shipping $50 some bucks, and they sell it for like 75 or something, or 60, and whatever. I mean, they're not making a huge profit on it, and you still are able to get a hat that you'd like. And, you know, I guess if I want bad enough, I'd probably go to the 60, 75 range, but I don't think I'm going over that. That's a little, the only hat I think I would ever do it for would be that Saw Puppet Hat Club. And I would probably go as high as 125 for it because I need that hat. I still haven't been able to find it. It's one of my favorite horror characters. I need that damn hat. If anyone has it in a 7 3/8 or 7.5, you know who to contact. Hit me up on Instagram at MightyFan. All right, everyone. Well, like I said, birthday day. Happy about that. You know, another year older, another year wiser, another year of life. You know, so that's always a good thing. And I guess unless there's something else that pops up before this, next time with the magic of editing, you'll see myself and Slymm and Mark M at the Mitchell&Ness store. So that's going to be pretty cool. All right. Next segment time. All right, I'm going to make sure this is filming now before I... Hopefully there's no phone calls either this time around. I got a short trip to make back home. I just gassed up, ready to go to the city with Byg Slymm and Mark M. Gonna go a little later this morning. I didn't get a chance to film yesterday as I wanted to when it happened, but major win on eBay yesterday would have been August 26th. You know, that hat from Hat Club, which was a shock drop some months ago, and I've been looking for it ever since because I missed out on it when it first, you know, popped out. Was that Saw Puppet hat on Hat Club? I mean, I've been looking for that thing like a hawk every day. All these all these secondary markets, rather, eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, OfferUp, the Facebook, the FHS group, because people sell on there. You know, Facebook Marketplace. I mean, you name it, I've looked, and every day. See, this is how a collector goes. I mean, there's something out there you know you want. You're gonna hunt, and you're gonna keep hunting and hunting and hunting until you hopefully are successful. So finally, you know, yesterday just doing a random search on eBay. You know, one of the searches that I didn't do every day, but you know, I would do it a few times a week. And the hat popped up, and it was in my size. I mean, it wasn't a hat search. So not only did I find it, but I found it in my size, which was like, you know, thank you, you know, right? It's just one of those things, and I didn't even, I mean, my hand was shaking. I didn't know what, I almost was in that Ralphie moment from A Christmas Story, when he's trying to remember to tell the mall Santa Claus what he wants for Christmas, right? Red Ryder, you know, the BB gun, right? And the narration as he's going down the slides, like, "Wake up, stupid, wake up!" And he stops himself and he crawls back. I love that scene. He crawls back up the slide, only to be kicked down by the Santa. You'll shoot your eye out, kid. And it was just one of those, wake up, stupid, wake up. You know, what are you doing? I'm like looking at this thing, and I'm not really doing anything, right? I lose all bodily function for like for like that few seconds period. And so then of course I went ahead and I purchased it. And I only paid a bit over retail for it, which is good, because a lot of those hats, particularly the Hat Club ones, people want an arm and a leg afterwards, just depending on the hat. You know, and it got me to thinking, is like, you know, this is something that we discussed a bit yesterday in one of the messenger groups I'm in for hat, the toppers group. They were talking about how I think it's My Fitteds is going to start doing raffles for hats, because it's gotten that bad. It's almost a near impossibility to get hats from certain sites when they do their drops, right? Hat Club's one of them. My Fitteds would be one of them. Some of those other sites, And, you know, look, there's a lot of blame to go around. There's a lot of, I understand that some of these sites have a real brick and mortar store. A lot of them are in New York, right? Shout out to the fellas who go to those stores on a routine basis. And so when they put these hats out on the site, they're only putting out the stock that's remaining. Sometimes it just isn't a lot. They can't keep up with it. Now, there's that other rule of thought, well, they should order more, they should get more in. I mean, you know, that's all easier said than done. I remember back when, you know, the jersey, when we had the jersey boom, right? When Mitchell&Ness really was pumping out all authentics. They didn't do swingmans back then, in the early mid 2000s. And all these jerseys were coming out, and they just couldn't keep them on the shelves. They were flying, and you have to remember, back then, you know, people complain about the $300 price tag for jerseys now, for Mitchell&Ness Authentics now. Back then, depending on the jersey, you had a lot of jerseys that were over $300, that were $400 even. But it didn't matter, because that was the thing, right? Because the hip-hop community just set it all aflame, right? You know, your various jerseys that were on magazine covers and in music videos and all that stuff. So it was the thing. Everyone was getting them. And back then, it just didn't matter. People didn't care about the price tag. They would sell no matter what. I mean, I remember, shout out to Big Baby. I hope you're doing well. Out in Detroit, he used to tell stories about being in stores there, and kids would come in, young kids, and they would be buying these jerseys right off they would get them, down from the wall or whatever in these sports shops, and they'd be spending $400 a jersey like it's nothing, drop it a hat. These are like, younger kids doing this, right? Just to keep up with the trend. And it's the same thing in this hat. It's like, listen, I've always gotten hats, and we all know I'm the combo wombo, right? The hat has to go with the jersey, right? It has to go. I've always done that. I've always worn, I'm not wearing one right now, but I've always worn hats, got hats, because I have a passion for it. That's what I do. And all the hat, the hat guys in the community and gals in the community, that's what they do. They're buying it for the passion. They're not buying it to flip and resell. Now, you have people that are doing it, but the point of the matter is, and why I brought that back to the jerseys, is because back then they were buying up the jerseys, and a lot of people were buying them and flipping them and resell. Now there wasn't really eBay, or eBay wasn't as prevalent or whatever. They really weren't doing stuff like that because there wasn't really that available. There was no Poshmark, Mercari, OfferUp, all that stuff. I don't even think there was eBay. I'd have to think about that. There may have been. In fact, there was. I'm sorry, because Lake Show 2 started selling stuff, right? But still, it wasn't like as the big thing, right? You weren't having people throwing the jerseys on there routinely at those high prices that you would see today for the hats, right? So what you have today is you have a whole new dynamic. And yeah, I think the pandemic is to blame for it big time, because listen, people don't want to work in an office setting. If there's a way to make money, people are going to find that other way where they can just work from home or work from where and not be in that setting, right? So you have these many resellers, many people using the bots to buy these hats because it's the hot thing. It's the trend, and they're going to resell them for big bucks because, yeah, they might need the money. They don't want to be in it. Look, if there's a way that you can work from home and make money, you're going to do it. People don't want to be in an office these days. Even me, in my job, and this is something they were thinking about doing anyhow, but work-life balance. So 3 days a week I'm in the office, 2 days a week I'm working from home. The pandemic showed that people can work from home. Now that might be a good and bad thing, I don't know. But my company decided after people were able to get back in the office to still allow to do something different. Instead of working 5 days in the office, now it's 3 days in the office, 2 days at home, and we all just do different schedules that way. And it's worked all right. It hasn't really been an issue or anything, but what I'm saying, my main point, because I always get off topic. My main point is more and more people want to work from home. More and more people want to be their own entrepreneur. And because of this pandemic, the hats just became such the big thing. It's basically taking what they did with the jerseys back in the day and that type of stuff back in the day and just put that on steroids, because now all these hats are going, they're selling them at crazy prices. And listen, people are still paying crazy prices for these things. People are still willing to buy a hat, like a Hat Club hat, for $250, $300 in that kind of range. I'm not one of them, okay? I have my limit. I will not pay $100 or more for a hat. It's not in my realm of thinking. It's like, no, why do I want to pay this, for a hat? It makes no sense to me, right? But to many people who just, they're willing to do it. And to some people, it's like a drop in a hat, literally. Drop in a bucket. It's not like that for me. I mean, I have my limitations. I know what I want, but I know the price that I'm willing to pay. And I've been collecting for over 15 years, particularly with jerseys. I know the price in my mind. This is what I want to pay. Now, sometimes, I will admit, if there's a jersey that's a grail, just something rare, something I really want to go after, maybe I'm willing to, spend the extra shekels on it. Not by much, but, I'm a little backwards here because one of the roads is closed. Sorry about that. But I'm willing to pay a few extra shekels. But a lot of people, hey, look, they're going to pay their prices, and there's really no way to police that. We as a community can't tell people what to spend. It's like the market dictates that. Unfortunately, right now, the hat game is just so hot. The market's there. People are still doing it. A lot of us collectors aren't. I can tell you there's a lot of guys and gals in our community, we are not paying those crazy prices, but people are. And the more that people continue to do it, the more these hats are going to, be at these crazy prices. And the flippers are, not just that, but moreover, the resellers are going to be going after stuff. The bots are going to be out there. All these different drops are going to be really hard to attain for people like myself who just appreciate the hat, want the hat in the collection. And they're really, like I said, there is no way to police it. Listen, you can try all sorts of things. You can say, okay, we're going to raffle this, we're going to do that. I personally think pre-orders would be a way to do it, because pre-orders would keep the flippers away, the bots away, because you got to wait a few months for these things to come in the mail. And I don't think they're willing to, spend, to really go after in bulk, all these hats if you did a pre-order, because who knows what the market's going to look like in a few months with these hats. It's almost like you have to forecast it then. And I think that would do away with some of this problem. But the problem, with the pre-order is you have to wait a few months to get the hat. Now me, I don't care, I'll wait. Okay? Knowing in the custom jersey game, I wait for stuff. Even some of the artwork I get for my character first, I've waited. I'm a patient man. I can wait. If I'm guaranteed that I'm going to get this hat and I got to wait a couple months to get it, okay, but at least I know I'm getting it. With these drops, there's no way. I don't even try. And I hate the defeatist, fatalistic attitude, but it put me in it, man, because I know there's no way. I can't go on Hat Club. Anytime I try to get anything, it is very rare. I'll say this, very rare if I hit on anything on Hat Club. My fitteds. There's certain sites I know, and I'm one of the people with the passion for this stuff. It's like they have kicked me out. They have kicked people like me out. Big time, appreciators, collectors, people who want to wear the hat and appreciate the hat. It's all bots. Now, pre-order might solve that, but people are going to complain because they're going to say, oh, it's going to take me 3 months to get my hat. I get that, but at least you have that knowledge that you're going to get the hat. It might take a little extra time, but you're going to get it. again, there's all sorts of, thoughts on this. There's all sorts of ways that this can go. Like I said, I think My Fitteds is doing a raffle. Maybe pre-order is a way. I don't know. I mean, I'm not someone who sells hats, so I'm not thinking as a seller. I'm thinking as a consumer. Like I said, the first video I did for this series went to Pro Image. There's no line at the King of Prussia Mall. There's a line at Philly Mills. Every week they show that line on their story on Instagram. They say, shout out to the line. That never makes me want to go to that store on Saturdays when they drop these hats. Because, again, I become a very, sinister person in this game as far as, I can't get these things, So I'm looking at the people in line, and I'm trying to think, all right, how many of these people in line are resellers? How many are in this line just to resell these hats? Basically human bots buying these hats. How many of these people in this line are keeping people away, are keeping these hats away from people who really want them to appreciate them and wear them? That's just, and I hate to feel that way, but I don't have any other choice. This is what it's made me. When you miss out on stuff that you want to get because all these sites are it's bot, it's bot crazy, and you're missing out on stuff that you really want to get. Yeah, I mean, I see a line on Pro Image Philly Mills, and look, shout out to Pro Image. I've bought a lot of good stuff from them, but I see that line and I cringe. And I do. I feel like, oh, how many of these guys are just waiting in this line just to buy stuff to throw up on eBay later that day, or Poshmark or Macar or whatever, and just flip them for double the price that they paid, right? I've seen some Pro Image hats doing various searches, online for ridiculous prices. Lids now, same thing. But at least with lids, there's more inventory. And some of these sites, some of these companies, they just can't get that inventory because they don't have the warehouse space. I get it. I'm not 100% blaming these companies. I think there are things that they could try to do a little better to keep to reduce the bots a little bit. You're never going to take it completely away. I don't care what you do. You can do the raffle. You can do this or that. It's never going to completely go away. But bottom line, at the end of the day, it does suck that we are in a time right now where getting something that you really, love and want and appreciate is just next to impossible with certain outlets. But I am at least thankful for places like Pro Image, KOP, Lids, putting out just crazy heat every week. And their stuff is a little more attainable. I can buy stuff from there. I can walk into a Lid store and buy stuff. Now, it varies. You're not going to have all the teams at every store, right? I'm going to be probably limited to Phillies, Yankees, maybe a little White Sox, maybe a little Blue Jays or something, whatever, Dodgers. But so some of those hats that I really want, like the Walking Tigers, some of those other ones, some of those Cardinals and stuff, we don't get here. So then, I'm at the mercy of, can I get it online? But the good thing about Lids is that in those different areas, they sell those hats in store. So you can reach out to someone within the community that lives in that area and say, hey, can I get this hat? And so there's a way to do that. I can't do that with Hat Club. I can't do that with My Fitteds. I can't do that with some of these other, outlets where they sell out in seconds, and then the next thing you know, they're all on eBay for quadruple the price. And look, people know what they have, and there is still a market for that. People are still willing to pay those ridiculous prices because it's the thing, it's the trend, right? It's the hype beast. That's what it is. And that's what it was with the jerseys back then. It wasn't as bad, I think, just because there wasn't as many outlets on secondary markets to sell this stuff online. So, we didn't really have this to the extent. I know in the sneaker game it is. Now, I don't know a lot about the sneakers. I'm not in that world. But I've heard horror stories. I've heard of, the raffle and this and that, and this is what you got to do to get these pair of sneakers. It sucks. it sucks, and it sucks that the flippers, they ruin it for everybody. But again, we're living in a world right now, the pandemic world, where the more people can just work from home and sell stuff at home, and maybe they lost some jobs, or family lost some jobs, and they're just doing this to make money, and this is the only way they can really make money. Listen, I mean, look, I get it. I get it. As much as I hate it, I get it. I get what this world has kind of become. And it's a seller's market out there, and it is what it is. Now, I did say, listen, there are things I'm thankful for. I am thankful for the secondary markets, because it gives me the opportunity to still find stuff. Now, I'm not going to pay those crazy prices, but I see many a hat on there that, look, it might be just a bit over retail or around retail. I see many of those too. Like I said, the big winner for me, that puppet hat from Hat Club. I finally got it, and I paid just a bit over retail, not much. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for those secondary markets. It's a blessing and a curse at the same time. And but it does suck, man. I feel for everyone out there who just can't get hats they want because of the bots out there buying everything online and then the resale. And I don't think there's an easy answer for this. I mean, people have been, wrapping their minds around it, trying to figure out what they could do. I know these companies are doing, trying to figure everything they can do. But it sucks, but until this thing dies down, and who knows when that's going to be, this is just how it's going to have to be. But like I said, I'll go to Pro Image where there's no line. I'll go to I'll go to Lids. I'll go to, Rally House. I'll go other places. I'm not hurting for hats. I got tons of hats. But it's this other stuff that's coming out. Yeah, I mean, I would like it. I still want an Angels hat with the 40 patch on the side, because I got that Mo Vaughn jersey. I got like I said, I got that that Disney era Angels hat, but not with the 40 patch on the side. That Mo Vaughn is like, Kamawabo me. But that hat has become real popular. A lot of companies have made it. I think Hat Club did it. Then all these, or maybe My Fitteds did it first or something. And all these other companies started doing it. I just need one to do it that I can get in stores so I can actually get the sucker. Anyhow, man, I just wanted to put that in here. A little vid coming back from getting some gas. Ready to go to Mitchell&Ness. See the new store in Walnut Street. And with the magic of editing, you're going to see that in the next segment here. So, there we go. Just doing Byg Slymm, Mark M.
Yeah.
Fun time had yesterday at the Mitchell&Ness store. Also shout out to Shy Sports in Philly. Shout out to the guy in there, owner, Glenn, very good guy. Very good store. A lot of nice nostalgia T-shirts, with little designs and all of them on there for the local teams. Nice old vintage stuff too, pennants and all different sorts of stuff. Um, Support your local business, right? So I got an Eagles Vet Stadium shirt, which is very cool. I know Mark M got one too. So, like I said, man, great store. I've been in there, from time to time, and always good experiences there. So shout out to Shibe, and of course to the Mitchell&Ness Flagship. First time going to their new location, their current location on Walnut Street, which is really close. I mean, I've been to. This is the third Mitchell&Ness Flagship location since I've started going to the store way back when the store was on Chestnut Street. And then it was on 12th Street, which is what the previous location was, and now it's on Walnut Street. And it's really within like a general mile or so, radius from where the store has moved around to. I didn't go to the original location. I never went to the store back then. I know Slim was telling me he was there, many years ago. I wasn't at that store, and I know people have had, great stories and experiences at that one. I've started going to the one when it was on Chestnut Street many years ago. We're talking like over 10, 15 years, whatever. And then the one on 12th Street, which has been its location for the past, 7 or so years or whatever it was, 8 years, whatever, maybe longer. The years kind of blend together now as you get older. But this is their brand new location and their home on Walnut Street. Beautiful store. Inside is just really nice. It's spacious. It has sort of a vibe to their original, the store I went to originally on Chestnut Street. In the way it was kind of, you kind of go and there's a hole the back and there's just racks and stuff on the walls and everything. It kind of took me back to that. This is bigger than that store was as far as size. It was bigger than the one on Chestnut. The Chestnut Street one, they just packed. There was so many huge round racks with all the old run Mitchell&Ness stuff on the jerseys and all on those racks, the Korea and USA runs and all that stuff, El Salvador. Boy, that was so that and listen, I mean, yeah, it was that original store that kind of created the monster that I am now with the jersey collecting, right? I mean, just and I've always said this, and shout out to Josh and to Matt. They've always treated us with the utmost respect. They get the game, and they are appreciative of the people who who show the company love, who collectors. This is what we do. They understand the life, and they're very appreciative of what we do in the Jersey Head community, and they know that the quality control could be better, and there's certain things that they make, and there's always going to be gripes, and there's always going to be stuff. Sometimes it's just there's only so much that they can do as far as them, but they do hear it and they listen. I mean, they acknowledge. So that's a good thing. That I mean, could it still be better? Absolutely, but I've always said that my love of the company of Mitchell&Ness stems back from going to the store. I have never had a bad experience at that store. There's been some times where it got kind of interesting in the sales and stuff, but I can honestly say I've never had a bad experience. I enjoy going there. It's a place that I'd love to go. The atmosphere, the conversations in there with the employees like Matt and Josh. Josh is, he's the head man there, and for him to, acknowledge and, want to see us and talk to us and, take pictures and do all that. And I know you could say, well, he's just, for the company. No, Josh does care. And Matt does too, and they have a real love of it. And they're really, they're passionate about it. It's nice. It's nice to kind of, be acknowledged by the brand that, we do care about. I mean, yes, Yeah, I mean they could be better. There's things that they do that I don't agree with. Some of the collabs, some of the collections, but it's not for me. But obviously, it's for people. It sells out. I don't buy it, but it has a place. People buy it. People like it. And who am I to tell anybody how they should collect? I'll never tell anybody how they should collect. That's on you. I've always said your collection is your personality. So you collect the way you want. You buy what you want. But yeah, going back to the store, listen, I've always enjoyed my times there, and being able to go there with good friends like Byg Slymm and Mark M, it makes it even better. And those are the moments that, listen, I mean, you have to appreciate, and you have to just collect as many of those good moments as you can, um, because hey, you go around once, and this is your chance, and the store's always been good to me, and I've always enjoyed my times in there, no matter where they were, on Chestnut Street, 12th Street, Walnut Street, whatever street they're going to be in the future. Who knows? In Philly, but I've never had a bad experience, and I think that's where this kind of deep-rooted love I have for the company. It is a Philadelphia company, born and bred in Philly, but it's just those experiences at the store. Like I said, I'm kind of old school in that regard. I love going to stores. I know everything today is just a click or two away. It's so easy that the internet, the phones, the computers, everything is easy. Everything is just a couple points away, and you get what you want. You see what you want. I do it, so I get it. But I love going to stores, and that's part of what you're seeing in this series. I've always enjoyed it. It's something that, it's that old school collecting. It's that just looking and feeling the product, seeing the product, making that decision there. Is this for me or no? You can do that a little better when you're seeing the thing in person than when you're looking at it on a computer screen. It's just, it's better. And you can try the thing on, see how it looks. If it's a hat, if it's a jersey, it's just, you can see the details a little better than you can see on looking at a phone or a computer screen. To me, it's the best way of doing it, and I love it. I always enjoy going out, as you are well aware of now, to malls, to stores, and so that's why I guess the Mitchell&Ness store is why I love Mitchell&Ness the way I do, because it's those moments. It's going there, it's seeing the stuff, it's talking to employees, it's just having those positive experiences. Yes, I know I haven't had those experiences over the phone when they're not, as helpful or whatever it is, and the customer service and the this and the that. I get it. I know there's that other side. I know the product could be better. I know whatever. It's not like it was back when the Korea run, USA run, whatever. We've been through this over and over again. It's like a merry-go-round. It's never going to stop, right? And I get it. I do see the other side of it. I'm not blind to it. But I think I'll always be loyal and love the company just because of those experiences that I have. And I know I live in the area. I can go to the store. Not everyone can do that. I can go to the flagship. Not everyone can do that. But it's because I can and because I have those experiences in there, which is why I will continue to just love the company. And yeah, I mean, I will give them business. I will buy their product, because I like it, A, and B, because I like the brand. It's my favorite brand. So it is what it is. I'm never going to down talk anyone who feels other. It's all opinion. You can have your opinion. This is mine. And I have those personal experiences there to kind of back up my opinion as why I like the brand the way I do. But to each his own. And I totally agree and totally understand if people have had problems. I know they take phone orders. The flagship takes one. In fact, one of the members of our community was having a phone order yesterday, and then so after we got some pictures in there, and I'll put the picture here. Byg Slymm posted it on the group on Jerseys, Kicks, and Lids on Facebook, and one of the guys was like, "Yeah, I placed an order." Like, oh, that was you. He actually got a jersey that I liked. I would have gotten if yeah, but I just couldn't. And like I said, right, the pickups, you see what you get, you see the final product. You don't see, right? That's the point. One of the points of this series. You're going to see what I don't get too. So they had this Road Gray '89 Rickey Henderson authentic in there, Oakland A's, with the Battle of the Bay, against the Giants World Series patch. It had the arm band and that Stomper logo on the other side. Really nice jersey. And you all know I love road gray baseball. I have the '89 Mark McGwire that they made a few years ago, and maybe that was part why I didn't jump on it. I believe if I didn't have that McGwire, I would have gotten the Henderson. I mean, whatever. It's just, I'm a little, as Slim would say, invested in Ricky. I have all of his A's jerseys that Mitchell&Ness has done besides this one. I have a vintage Padres jersey of his that I love. Yeah, I have quite a few Ricky jerseys, but if I didn't have that Big Mac, I probably would have jumped on it because it was a beautiful jersey, really well executed. It was the World Series the A's did win in those years. Really nice jersey. The big name on the back just says I like it and everything, but I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to throw the 300 at it right now. I had interest. It was hard, man. Walking out of that store, I'm like, man, that Ricky. But again, if I didn't have the Big Mac, it's basically the same jersey. I probably would have grabbed it. But it's just one of the decision-making process. I didn't get it, and then I come to find later, as we were having dinner, that the flagship thanked everyone. It was sold out. I'm like, yeah. I'm not surprised. It was a beautiful jersey, very well done. Maybe that's one that at some point hits Fanatics or something, and I can grab it there. Maybe Mitchell&Ness gets a restock in it. I don't think it hit their website yet either, so maybe that's a possibility. The website, and for those who don't know, the website and the store are two completely different entities. They don't work hand in hand. So the Mitchell&Ness website might get things that the store doesn't get in right away. The store might get things that the website doesn't have on hand right away. It's just they don't work in connection with each other. And so they're two completely different entities with Mitchell&Ness. So the flagship store is completely different than the website, which does need an overhaul. That website really needs an overhaul, as we know. But beautiful jersey. Anyone who was on their Instagram yesterday saw it. Really nice. People who were in the store saw it. Really nice. I think it just hit like yesterday or the day, whatever. I think it was yesterday when it hit. Beautiful. I noticed it right away. I mean, it was on one of the racks on the wall. In the baseball section, it was on the upper rack. But I saw the sleeve. And at first, I thought it was Mark McGwire. And I see that 24. I see Henderson. Oh, Ricky. An 89 Ricky Road. I told Slim, look at this. And he's like, ooh, that's nice. And then we keep seeing, like, one of their employees is holding the jersey, I guess, for a customer, walking back. And Slim's like, there's your jersey. I'm like, yeah, I know. That little, I know. But I didn't pull the trigger. And yeah, it's one I would like. And hopefully, like I said, maybe Fanatics gets it. I have some coupons, so maybe, I can get it that way, pay a little less than I would have had to yesterday. Things always work out. It's like I said, as a collector, you do this for so long, you just know. Eventually things are going to work out. You just got to, hope for the best and keep your eyes open. I did pick up a couple of things at the store, but again, shout out to the flagship. Beautiful new store. If you get a chance to go see it, do so if you're in the Philly area on Walnut Street. Beautiful, beautiful store. Lots of stuff in there to see. Really nice big sign of Mitchell&Ness behind the counter. They had some secret doors back there, too. They had like a James Bond thing behind the hat rack. He opens the door, and it's like a long, rack of jerseys on the inside. I'm like, ooh, I need one of those. In the Mighty Kingdom, Slim's like, I need one of those. It was just super cool. It was a really cool thing. And again, shout out to Josh and shout out to Matt. And thank you, as always, for all that you guys do. But I did pick up a couple things, so I'm going to share that. The first being a fit. I knew I had to get something. I had to get something from my first trip to the new flagship store. So, and I mean, it had to be Eagles, right? So, brand new fitted. Yes, Mitchell&Ness does make fitted. Not as much as the snaps, but they do. So, you got the Eagles logo, the older Eagles logo. It's like from the 50s, 60s, I believe. This would go with my Tommy McDonald jerseys. Got the Eagles on the side. You got the, you know, kind of that old school, you know, flashback to the early mid-2000s era with the panels. Not quite a pinwheel, just has the front panel, but Mitchell&Ness on the back. On the inside, this is pretty cool. The inside band has the Mitchell&Ness logo going all over. You see the little, you know, specs right there. Green solid bill, really nice. Big bold logo right there. So it's kind of like a, you know, like a throwback to the early to mid 2000s eras that I love so much, right? So grab this one. And I thought the tag for it was pretty cool for what was on the other side. You see all those different, you know, images and stuff. So that's kind of cool. That's a new tag. Never saw any, you know, it's your regular red tag, but it's got the nice little logos on the other side. This one I was excited for. I love that one. And I was excited to get that one. But this, I love this set. And this might have to be a cash out set for me. I want these hats. I only grabbed the one, and I told Matt, I said, oh, you're going to hurt me now. This is getting dangerous. I love this because I love these hats from back in the day. And I do love the fact that Mitchell&Ness, you know, they bring stuff back. You know, that was once, you know, a big deal, like in the 90s, right? This is one, you know, from my youth, right? This is the stuff, man, this takes me back. I love this design. So you got the Utah Jazz. Got the smaller logo right there, and then as you see, it just goes across the front with the team name. Then you got the logo on the side. Oh, big logo on the side, kind of broken up a little bit. Oh, I love these hats back then. And I forget if Starter or Logo Athletic made these, but back in the day. But I remember them, and I do want to find some of the vintage ones. It is a snap, but they were snapbacks back in the day too, so that's okay. Mitchell&Ness. It's got the good green on the bottom, black gut, but let me tell you, and I saw every one that they had, and they were all winners. It was hard for me to pick one, and I'm like, which one am I going to get? Which one, you know, God, they're all so nice. I'm like, you know, I don't have a lot of Utah Jazz, you know, hats like this for my, you know, Jazz jerseys for the Combo Wombo. So let me grab this one. God, I love that. And each one was a winner. I mean, each one of these was super cool. I love seeing this because, like I said, I love this design back in the day, back in my younger days, back in the 90s, right? This was such a nice hat back then. Definitely goes with jerseys. You know, you can wear this with a lot of stuff. I love this. This set has yet to hit the website. I think this set just came out to the store, too. Because I asked Matt, I'm like, hey, did this just drop? He's like, yeah, we just got him in. I'm like, oh, I said, this is going to be a problem. This set right here, this is going to be a problem. And you know I love my fitted family, FHS community. I love you all. But my goodness, for a snap, it tugs on the heartstrings because this is the type of hats that I loved growing up. And I had a few of them. I think I had Eagles, I had a Steelers. I think in more recent time, I got Patriots to go with my starter, Curtis Martin. It was a starter hat, in fact, because the jersey was starter. So Starter made these back in the day. This particular design. They did another one too with like a faded logo, like a big. You had the logo, but it was kind of faded. But I think those hats were white, and then they did more of like the team color, you know, hats. I'm telling you, do not sleep on this collection. This is nice. This right here is nice. I love this. And I will be buying more. I have it in my... like I said, this might be a cash out collection. I might grab over time every one because they hit for me. You know, they hit. So I was super stoked to see those. That was just the exciting thing. I'm like, woohoo! I wish I got my reaction. Because I'm like, oh, look at those. Like, my eyes went right to them. As many hats as they had behind the counter, these right there, it was like, doop. Oh, my. And I love that. I love that set. So shout out to Mitchell&Ness for bringing those back, man. Those were nice back in the day. And like I said, I do want to get some of the vintage ones from back then. But this, that's a done deal, man. I'm going to be collecting as many of these as I can. because I love that design. I love the way that looks. It feels right, you know. So anyhow, that is going to do it for Ramble here. 20 minutes of ramble. But shout out again to the flagship. Great new store. You guys and gals did a wonderful job with it. You know, shout out to all of you for it. It really has that old school Mitchell&Ness feel to it when you walk into, which is really cool. And a nice layout. I like the way things were laid out. It was more spacious. You know, the old store, I never, like, minded it, but it was designed kind of weird. And it was cozy. So when you would go in for, like, sales and all the body heat, I can tell this one's going to be a little better, you know, in that regard, too. So, anyhow, shout out to the company. Shout out to the flagship. Like I said, Josh and Matt, shout out to you guys, too. Keep doing your great work there, and thank you, you know, for recognizing us in the community. And, you know, like I said, man, hey, it's a family. There's going to be arguments. But at the end of the day, we love the product, and this is why we want the product to be as great as it can possibly be. So, yeah, that's going to do it for me for this segment, for this volume, I should say, volume 3 of In the Life. You know, I'm enjoying this so far. I think it's going pretty good to this point. I like the flow of it. And you know what? Shout out to all of you. Thank you for all the stories about Ron, and I'm glad people, you know, enjoyed, that last volume too. Look, that's real life. And I wanted to make sure I, paid my respects and tribute to Ron, and I'm glad people did too. I know that touched a lot of people in the comments. I saw it. And listen, I mean, this series is going to be dedicated to the memory of Ron, because Ron was one of those OG collectors, and Ron loved what he did, but he always said you can't take it with you. So appreciate it when you have it, right? When you're here to appreciate it. Whatever it is you collect, whatever it is you do, just make the best of it. So this series will be dedicated in the memory of Ron. I will always have the hashtag for Ron J, the number 4 Ron J in the description. Because, like I said, man, he was a good friend. He was a great person. And he was someone that you could have learned a lot from in the world of collecting, and how to not only collect but appreciate what you have while you're here to appreciate it. So always make sure to do so. So that's that's where we stand. I think the next volume, the next episode, you might see something a little different. Mainly, it's going to be jerseys and hats, because that's what I collect. Okay, but my favorite time of year is the fall, for many reasons. One of them being Halloween. That's my favorite holiday. Those Spirit Halloween stores have started to open in the area. I love going to them. I love looking around. Like I said, man, it's a store. I love going to them, right? But obviously they have a big website on the net, but they have the store chain that opens up around this time of year, and it stays open until the day after Halloween. I love those stores. They're just a lot of fun. A lot of nostalgia things in there too. So I might take you along with me on one of those trips to the store and show some stuff, and get ready for that wonderful time of year. And of course, that Saw Puppet hat, I got the confirmation. It shipped, so it should be to me, and you will see it in the next episode as well. I look forward to that. Oh, I'm so happy. That just made my week. That made my year as far as collecting in the hat game, if anything else. To get that hat. That hat means a lot to me, and I'm so happy to get it. I can't wait to have it and show it and wear it around this time of year and just enjoy it. So I will show that in the next volume as well. And so thanks as always to all of you. Keep that support going. Make sure you hit the like icon as many times as you can. As many times as we can get that click, let's click it up, right? Make sure, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon, so you're always alerted to new content from yours truly. Whatever that content is, In the Life, pickups, Season of the Fan, which will be starting up very soon, probably next weekend, Labor Day weekend, and ready for week 1 of the NFL season. Like I said, man, shouts to all of you. Shout out to Byg Slymm and to Mark M. Had a great time. We had a great meal yesterday, too, at Ichiban Buffet. Ooh, boy, that was good stuff. Even though I dropped the orange soda on the table, that wasn't good. You never know, right? You never know. But I made amends because I got another one. I finished that without any spillage, so we're good. All right. Shout out to Ichiban, though. Great food. I love that, man. That's the first time I've been there. I told Slymm and Mark, and Slymm made a mention of buffets, and I said, there's this place, Ichiban. I haven't been there. It's in the area. Maybe we should go. So we went, and it was so good. Oh, it was so good. It really was. So, and even as a vegetarian, they had a ton of stuff for me. So I was, that's double thumbs up, right? Sometimes it's tough. You're a vegetarian to go to different places. But that was, yeah, I'll be going back. I'm not going to drop the orange soda next time, but I'll be back. All right, everyone, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.